Hello, hello, happy Monday. Friends, we have all had those moments, you open your planner or you open your back office and you're like, crap, I forgot to follow up with so-and-so. Poor Sally, she's been waiting for a message from me. Or Ruth has been looking for a video link so that I can help her better understand how to use her product. It could be a customer. Maybe you forgot to send a message to your mom. It could even be something you promised that you'd do for yourself, right? And instead of giving yourself grace, the guilt creeps in. Friends, my name is Wendy Cannon, and I am a social selling planner coach here with Cannon Planning, and I want to be sharing with you guys this week and all this month. We've been talking about follow-up in general and how we can better serve our customers and better build trust in ourselves. And so this week we're going to ditch that guilt, right? And we're going to trade it in on a flow. If you know anything about me, you know that I love laundry, and I have this fantastic analogy called the laundry analogy. And what I want to do today is kind of walk you through a laundry flow. So one of the things that I have found with doing any kind of major project or major system building is to think of it as laundry. You take time to sort the clothes, then you treat the stains, then you put those loads of laundry into the washing machine. Then they come out of the washer, they go into the dryer, and after the dryer, they get hung up, or they get folded, or they get ironed, and then they get put away, right? These are the steps of doing the laundry. And I want to take a few minutes today to talk about a couple of different steps that you can do with building a follow-up flow, kind of like your laundry. You go through the steps every single time that you get ready to do it, and you can do the same thing with your follow-up. It is a rhythm. It's a planning habit that you can build that makes it easier to follow through, whether you're running a business or you're just trying to keep up with your regular life stuff. Having a system in place keeps things from slipping through the cracks. So I have 4 steps for you guys today. The first one is to create a place to track it. Now, if you are going to be following along on this workshop that's going to be starting next Tuesday, May 27th, then you're going to hear a little bit more about some of the tools that I have to share with you. You can also check back on some of the replays that we've done here, either on the Facebook page or over on YouTube, that have talked about some of the tools that you can use for follow-up. But today I want to talk briefly about a couple of different ones that you can use for your follow-up system. You can use the customer contact insert. It's great for direct sales, for social networking, for network marketing, anything like that, where you want to kind of keep track of the conversations that you're having with your customers. There is the gradebook insert, which is a fantastic way for you to keep in track of the 222 system. For 2 to 12 friends, it's 232. It's fine. And this gives you a way to do some weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, and daily check-ins on your thank yous, following up on who ordered what products, etc. There's also using the top 3 sections of a weekly insert. My favorite, obviously, is the Brain Dump Weekly, and it has a top 3 section on there. It's a great place for you to just write 3 names that you want to check in with throughout the course of the week. And of course, you can always use sticky notes or some kind of color coding system to write those names down on a sticky note and slap it inside of your planner. I do feel like sticky notes can be very helpful in getting your planning flow going or your follow-up flow going, because they can be moved from section to section of your planner. Just don't stick them randomly on your desk, right? Put them in your planner, give them a home, and make them have a job to do. All right, step number 2 is decide on the rhythm or decide on the flow. Obviously, you're going to find something that works better than others, but we all know that eventually it has to go in some kind of flow. When you're doing laundry, you can't do the drying before the washing. It doesn't really help matters, right? So we need to be able to think of a couple of different things that we can do. So maybe a daily flow is that you send 1 to 2 quick messages. Those 3 names that you wrote down at the top of your paper, go ahead and utilize those as a way to check in with those people over the course of the week so that you know how to touch base with them. Maybe weekly, maybe you're going to batch 3 to 5 follow-ups with a 20-minute timer. So you have your 1 to 2 messages, and now we're going to spend time batching. You don't want to do necessarily one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. You can definitely do that. But if you have time throughout the course of the week that you can do some batching, then great. Sit down with your list and go ahead and do your follow-up messages. On monthly basis, we want to review our full list and decide the next touch points. So if you are using an insert, customer contact insert, gradebook insert, take a look at the end of the month and see, okay, who did I follow up with? Who did I actually get in contact with? What conversations was I having with them? What information are they asking for? That way you can take the next step in your follow-up. When you do your monthly review, you can say, okay, today I need to make sure that I check back on so-and-so who ordered the Art of Planning and Journaling or mascara or whatever it is that they ordered from you that you can utilize. So you can take time for this to add. Maybe you can create an environment in which you do your follow-ups. You have a certain snack. Maybe you listen to a certain song. Maybe you grab a cup of tea and you really dive into the process. And this can be way more fun than laundry, although I love laundry. So for me, it's fun to do. But maybe for you, it's not like laundry, or you have a chore that you really enjoy. You can turn on the music, blast up the tunes, and you can really have a conversation with your friends, with your customers, and get that follow-up done. All right, step number 3 is use a template with a little bit of personal touch. Now, it's okay for you to start with a template such as, hey, I was thinking about you, or you popped into my mind today and I wanted to check in with you because I realized I haven't followed up with you. Or, hey, I just wanted to see how your XYZ product was doing. I love using mine. What's your favorite part of using it? It does not have to be huge. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out. Besides that, people don't want to scroll when they're reading a message. They want it to be short, sweet, and to the point. We just want to make sure that we end any comment or any question that we start or any interaction that we make with our follow-up, end it with a question so they have a reason to answer you. It keeps the conversation going. It helps you to be able to build a know, like, and trust with them and a relationship with your customer as well. Step number 4, stay consistent. And notice in the parentheses there, it says not perfect. You're going to forget sometimes, or life is going to get busy and things are going to fall off the rails. And that's okay because you're a human. We use things like a habit tracker to be able to check in and say, yes, I did my follow-up today. No, I didn't do my follow-up today. Use your weekly reflections to reassess. What did you get done? What didn't you get done? Give yourself the grace to be able to be like, hey, I didn't do my follow-up this week. I really need to make sure that I do that this week. Let's go ahead and put that on my to-do list for next week. Utilize, again, sticky notes to prioritize people who on your list really need some love from you. Write them down and give them an opportunity to be top of mind on your list and not just an afterthought in your follow-up system. I can tell you, friends, that grace and commitment make progress, and we want to compound that over time. So this week, I want you to build your own follow-up flow, whatever that looks like to you. Keep it light, keep it fun, and keep it doable. Definitely the first thing that I want you to think about is not something that is overly complicated. And just start. So pick a place to track, choose your rhythm or your flow. Write one message that you can utilize, that you can tweak to be personalized to somebody else, and share what's working in the comments or in your stories, right? I want to hear about it. You don't need a fancy customer retention management system, a CRM, right? You just need your planner, a little bit of attention, and let your flow build and do all of the things that you can do, friends. I want you guys to take this opportunity to think about how follow-up can build your system and how it can help build your business. Fortune is in the follow-up. Being able to touch points with your customers builds know, like, and trust. It also builds trust in yourself when you are taking time to do the follow-up because you know that you're showing up for your business. If you are interested in more tips and tricks that have to do with follow-up, please be sure to get registered. You can check the link above. You can grab the registration link, sign up, and join us next week for our From Conversations to Connections workshop that will be starting on May 27th. Those of you that register will get extra freebies that those do not. And so you can watch everything on my Facebook business page because that's where the workshop will be happening. But if you want a little extra freebies, maybe some scripts that you can use to help you get started on thoughts, this will be the best place for you to do. Make sure you grab that link, check it out, and get registered for the next Canon Plan and workshop. Hope you all have a fantastic Monday, friends, and I'll see you all soon.